Welcome to today's edition of Devotions with Brother Aaron. Come on in, pull you up a chair, kick your shoes off for a minute, set a spell, and let's see together again what God may have to say to us through these devotions. I've entitled today's devotion, Choosing Not to be Offended. Now, I know that doesn't affect anybody other than me, so this one's just for me. Proverbs 19:11 states, "The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression." Wow. The Aaron McCollough translation of that verse is, "Smart people have learned both how to hold their tongue and the virtue of being able to forgive and forget." In short, they've learned to make the choice not to be offended. Regarding being offended and forgiving someone, I've heard many people say, "Oh, I'll forgive, but I'll never forget." Excuse me? If you're not willing to forget, then you haven't really forgiven. Well, that got your attention, didn't it? Yes, I know that as human beings, we come equipped with memory as standard equipment, although mine doesn't work too well anymore. So technically, I guess we cannot actually ever forget. However, we can choose not to recall. Keep listening as I'll tell you a story that illustrates my point. In the early 1980s, I became the pastor of the Stovall Baptist Church. Mr. Jimmy and Miss Clara Lee Scott were prominent members of the church. He was a deacon, and they were involved in almost every aspect of church life. They had about 10 or 11 children. Boy, I hated it when they missed church. Anyway, the first year I was there, nothing was doing but that the new preacher had to attend the annual Scott family reunion. So after the Sunday morning service, my little family and I went to the Scott reunion. After a gloriously delightful meal, someone suggested that we play volleyball. Somebody dragged a net out, and the Scotts began dividing up into two teams. There were enough of them to do that. But here again, nothing was doing but the new preacher had to play. At that time, I would have been somewhere around 23 to 25 years old. So I snatched my shoes off and went at it. Well, when they set the net up, somebody used a red brick for the back line marker on my side of the net. In the heat of the game, I forgot about that brick. Somebody hit the ball toward the back line. I tore out after it like a banshee. I punted that red brick with my toe. Folks, it hurt so bad that it didn't even hurt for about 3 seconds. But I just kept on running because I knew it was about to hurt something fierce. Sure enough, it did. I broke my toe. Now, what are y'all laughing about? I just told you I broke my toe, and y'all are laughing about it. As I sat there nursing my broken toe, all those Scots gathered around me. They said, "Preacher, we like you." I asked, "Why?" They replied, "Anybody who can do something like that and not cuss, there's got to be something to his religion." For about 6 weeks afterward, my toe found every leg on every table and chair in my house. And each time it did, it hurt all over again. I rehearsed my story over and over and over to anybody I could get to listen. But listen to me. Somewhere along the way, the natural healing process started. I began to think less and less about my poor broken toe. Now, will I always remember that I broke my toe? Oh, yeah. However, the only time I think about it now is when I'm using it to illustrate a point, as in this devotion. And strangely enough, like you, I'm laughing as I tell it. I'm telling you that our lives will go a whole lot easier if we choose to live them as Solomon spoke about in this proverb. Let's choose not to get offended. Let's learn to hold our tongue. And if we do get offended, let's choose to forgive and forget. The more we allow the healing process of forgiveness to take place, the less we'll choose to recall and the less we'll hurt. I know this by personal experience. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if all of us chose not to be offended and to forgive and forget when we are offended? Lord, I pray that everyone listening to this devotion who's been offended or hurt by somebody will choose to forgive and forget the pain they have endured. Please remind us that forgiveness is our choice. It's not dependent on somebody apologizing or asking for our forgiveness. It's a choice we make. Remind us that the memories fade as healing occurs. Lord, lead us to a place in you where we choose not to recall and not to be offended. And I ask this in your name, amen. And to you, my listeners, if this devotion has spoken to you, please forward it to somebody else. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day.